I just listened to a video by Psych Hacks in which I don't always listen to him because sometimes he can be an asshole. But I am a woman of logic, and so I give him a fair shot when the title is worthy of it. And so tonight, the video I listened to, even though it's probably a year old, it was it's better to be for women to be the adorer. And he ended up saying towards the end of the video that basically, a man should sacrifice being with whom he really loves in order to give that to someone else who would love him, knowing how good it feels for the person to be in love. And yeah, he said it was a sacrifice. Now, when I first bought the Astrology for Dummies book about a century ago, that was one of the first things that I read about my chart, even though I went to go look back for it and I couldn't find exactly what I read the first time, of course, right? But what it said was because of the way my planets were splattered all over the chart evenly, just about evenly, or something like that, that the way my facial structure is set up, that I would be better to give myself to someone and make them happy instead of me trying to be happy this lifetime. And I was the first and last time I read something like that. And it was a little mind blowing because, being that it was a century ago, I definitely did not want to hear that. It was like, what? And I'm actually kind of doing something like that now by, being a professional cuddler. I am, don't take this the wrong way, I am giving to the needy and not the greedy. Yeah, that's right. There are people out there, like I said, that our love language is touch, but because our, attachment avoidant partners are always running, you know, um, back to people that would love them the way I would like to be loved, you know what I mean? Yeah, there needs to be a space for people like me. Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to get back into how a lot of my customers are Indians, and, I don't know if it has anything to do with Tantra or Buddhism. Anyway, or them just wanting more affection. How about that? But I wasn't going there tonight. I was going back to yeah. So the sacrificing to give of yourself, so that someone else can be happy in a relationship with you. Whew, that was a real big chip to my ego just listening to that while looking at a picture of myself. Because I don't see anyone that worthy, especially anyone that, here we go, my selfishness that I'm attracted to, right? Don't get me wrong, no one has really ever offered me the world. Probably anyone that would was sitting back watching and decided to take a less risky move. But a couple of years ago, I did do a numerology reading on myself, something you could just download on Google or whatever. And I I paid for that extra report, not the free one, but the extra payment one. And they said that I was very picky. And when they said that, it blew me. I mean, I didn't understand because I've definitely thought that, I had settled with some of the guys that I have been seeing over the years. Um, there were so many times I was willing to settle. How about that? Before I knew that I could do better. There we go with that. And that kind of spoils it. And I guess that would make you picky, when you're spoiled for choice. You hear my stomach? Anyway, yeah. So that was a bit profound. And between that and the selling to the rich, um, things that have just popped up on my YouTube algorithm. I tell you, because I've been stuck in this corner of the matrix, YouTube is suggesting new ideas for me now. So I think AI, before it was reading your mind, and now it's like kind of predicting where you should go. It's very deep. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna end it there, but it's like, could I ever? You know, um, I've always been the type that cannot stomach pretending like I like someone. I can hear my mother now, because we ain't built like that. Which, my mom is so funny because she and I are both the same sun and ascendant sign. And she was very shocked the other day to hear that my Capricorn sister, who is the youngest, is very certain that she is not marrying for looks. And my mother was shocked about that. And I don't understand why my mother was shocked about it. My mother's last 4 children are Capricorns, and the first 3 are Cancers. And I just wish I could find that video. Even if you look at that astrologically, it's just like, as she is to mature, or as she matured, so have the signs of the babies that she delivered. I laugh sometimes when I know shit sound crazy. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, I don't know why she was shocked, like she never heard anything like that, but it's just like, damn, you know, she's definitely from that generation where we were all heavily influenced by Disney. you know, um, wow, it's very deep. So it's like, if that's how men think, well, actually, that's how I got into this, and how I always get into this. But this is how I got into this last time. It was nothing for that young guy to move in with someone else because she may have been more financially stable than I, meaning maybe she, had more of a prestigious position at her institution, as far as maybe having more pull. you know Me, I'm always straddling the fence where I work, dealing with jealous, narcissistic women that work over me and just do not want to see me happy. And or what was the term the woman used today? They're like starved for attention, so they do some kind of forced attention thing, right? So you don't talk to them regularly, so they have to get some type of reaction out of you. And I attract men that do the same thing. So at the end of the day, this whole thing about being the adored is so prevalent as I progress, you know, and evolve and grow and get older. Just not getting the fulfillment I want when I am the adorer. So that's the other thing, you know, he's suggesting that women be the adorer and that men be the adored. Because if not, then, you know, when women are the adored, women get bored easily. But it's the same with men. And, you know, even though, like I said, his message was intended for women, I totally, of course, took it backwards because that's what my birth chart said, and thus what I've experienced, whether I liked it or not. And here I am, you know, being the adored and being bored with it, right? I mean, the amount of men that I have seen in the last couple of months, and not one of them have tickled my fancy. And the thing is that I only have one that is hard to look at. Only one. The rest of these men are average looking to good looking men, period. So, yeah, you know, and possibly they may all have the same problem. Jonah say, but you know, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It really is. You know, let me take some more of them African mango pills because they seem to have been working. My appetite has been reduced. Anyway, that's it. One.